Let me ask you a simple question. What's the one thing that you need to be doing right now in order to start improving your Japanese faster? This is a question that not a lot of people can answer, okay? And the reason why you're not being able to speak Japanese to people, A, you might be freezing in front of people when you speak to them, when you approach Japanese people, and B, you might be feeling super nervous when talking to them, okay? And there's a clear reason behind why this is happening. It's the lack of vocabulary. So today's theme, today's topic is going to be how to increase the amount of, increase your vocabulary and start speaking with Japanese people. We're going to tackle that problem today together, all right? And how are we going to do that? The solution is we got to understand the basics of communication in Japanese, okay? So we're going to tackle that problem together. Guys, if you don't know me, my name is Narron. I was born and raised in Japan, and I work as an interpreter here in a Japanese company. And because I'm born and raised here, on YouTube, I teach people like you who work with Japanese people how to go from nervous to natural in Japanese. All right, so let's get started. So the main problem that I see a lot is that, like I said, a lot of people are focusing on the wrong thing. The first thing, the priority that they have is really weird, but you guys always think about the amount of time. Instead, what you want to do is it'll be super beneficial if you focused on the thing that you're learning. So what do I mean by that? Instead of learning random words that you picked up from the internet, right? What if I said that if you focused 1 hour on how to introduce yourself or how to be polite at your workplace, how to use certain, words with older people than you, wouldn't that be better if you studied that for an hour instead of studying random words? You probably don't need the first page of that textbook or like a book that you have. You need to focus on what you need at your workplace, what you need when you talk to Japanese people. And the consequences are devastating. Like when you're focusing on the wrong thing, which is focusing on how much time you study Japanese or how many words that you learn, these are so random that the end results, conversations literally end because of the lack of vocabulary. Because, due to you not knowing the specific words that you need to know when talking to people, when trying to be polite to people at work, the conversation literally ends. Your vocabulary is literally your blood. Without blood flow, you just faint. The conversation literally finishes there. So this is what I'm talking about. It's so crucial, but I've seen so many people forget about this. You guys think about grammar, you guys think about kanji, you guys think about, how to do yada yada yada, but you don't know how to increase your vocabulary. The only thing you're doing is procrastinating when you're supposed to be increasing your vocabulary, right? So let's face it, you got to increase the number of words that you know. So the funny thing is, you're working with Japanese people right now, and the more I hear this, it's funny because a lot of people want, respect and authority and, the other coworkers to listen to you, or you want to be included in general. But you say that and you don't know the language at all. So this is a thing that I always hear from a lot of people. Many managers come to me. I have a lot of clients who are managerial. They're in a really high position. But the lack of vocabulary is just killing them, okay? One client told me that, he just lacked authority due to his lack of language skills. Okay, so by not knowing a lot of Japanese, he came to me saying that he wanted to be included in meetings. He wanted to be part of the decision-making process in his company, right? He was like a manager, but we were talking about this and he didn't know the language. So all his Japanese coworkers would go to the Japanese boss instead of him. And the good news is, guys, we can solve this together because the only problem here is lack of vocabulary. It's not like it's not a cancer or anything. It's not a disease. You can cure it. It's very easy. Just start studying Japanese from day one. That's the only thing I'm asking for. And basic Japanese knowledge gives you power and authority. So I always like to invert the problem. If your coworkers or your Japanese people around you are not listening to you, you're feeling ignored, you're not included. By knowing the language, they give you power because you're going to be the person who knows not only English but also Japanese. You know 2 languages now. So voila, you become the hotshot, the new superhero, right? So I always like to think about it in a positive way. So let's start talking about how we do this, all right? So when people ask me, how do you get better at Japanese? I give them a really easy answer. So most people that come to me, Like, let's be real, guys. You say that you want to, know how to approach people and talk with Japanese people and not be nervous. And let's think about it for a second. How do athletes do this? How do NBA stars or like NFL players do this, right? They do the same thing. It's weight training or shooting 3-pointers to the point where it gets boring. And the real question is, are you doing it to the point where it's boring? Probably not. You're probably, in your day job, you're probably trying to speak to Japanese people, but right now you're not. Let's be real, right? And that's okay because you just don't know how to do it. And I'm giving you the how-to part right now. How to do it? First, you got to understand what you want to learn. So, for instance, if you're in a position where you just want to be able to communicate with people, right? Versus there are a lot of situations like another person will be like, oh, I know how to speak Japanese to a degree now, so I want to give presentation. I want to do presentations with my teammates or two other people, right? In that case, it's different, right? But you got to look at your situation. Are you a beginner? Are you advanced? Are you kind of intermediate? If you're a beginner, the first thing you got to do is know what kind of words you want to learn. So if you want to be able to communicate with people, it's more casual, less formal. You want to talk about how their family, how your coworkers' wives are, how are the kids, right? If you want to give presentations, you want to be super technical about this. So the first thing you want to do is understanding your level, and then we can go deeper from there. So once you understand your level, now what you want to do is you want to learn the words around that category. So if it's communicating with coworkers, learn the lingo. It's like how to ask about their family. You can learn casual stuff. And we live in 2025 now. You can search the internet, search online how to introduce yourself, how to ask about family, get 20 words on your word list, and then start using them, right? And the thing is, the most difficult part is how do you use them, right? And we're going to tackle this together. Don't worry. You got your word list now. 10 to 20, it could be 10 words. It could be 20 words, whatever. At least more than 10, okay? You got 10 words, 10 phrases on, how to introduce yourself or how to ask how their family is. Then what do? You wake up in the morning, say those, don't say 10. Start with 3, okay? Say those 3 phrases 20 times in front of the mirror. The moment you wake up, all right? Do that. If you're too shy during your lunch break, do it at home before you go to bed. So essentially, you got 20 in the morning and 20 at night. If you're not shy at all, you got 20 in the afternoon too, in the bathroom or something at work, all right? So you got 40 to 60. You're practicing more than 40 times a day. And most of you are not doing this. I know this, and this is a fact. But it's okay. We can start doing this from today, right? And once you start doing it 40 times, think about it. If you gave your boyfriend or girlfriend their favorite meal, if you cook dinner for them 40 times, you're probably going to get better. Chances are you're probably really good at that specific thing. If you do one thing more than 40 times for a week, right? And the thing is, once just don't do it for a week, do it for months, okay? The moment you think, about the long term, you win when it comes to Japanese, okay? So that's step 3. So we've got having your word list and then also using them, saving them in front of the mirror 20 times in the morning and 20 times at night. This way, there's no excuse for you. A lot of people come to me saying, oh, but I don't have Japanese friends, or I don't have people to talk. Who should I talk to? You just say it in front of the mirror. That's fine. The goal is to not talk to people yet. The goal is to be able to prepare to talk to people. In order to talk to people, you have to be prepared. This is our level 1. This is stage 1, all right? And once you do that for a week, those 3 words, start using them. So it doesn't need to be a week. It could be 3 days if you're a fast learner. I have a lot of clients who start doing it and on day 2 or 3, a lot of other coworkers are like, wow, that person actually has a conversation with us, right? That white person who never spoke Japanese in the office, he or she talks to us all the time now. That happens a lot with my clients. They're great people because they actually execute after we talk about words, vocabulary, in class, right? So don't only learn and absorb the thing, actually say it in front of the mirror. That's step 1. And step 2, start using them. That's how we actually increase the amount of vocabulary that and start speaking to people, okay? So in this video, I really wanted to, emphasize how important understanding the basics of Japanese is. And a lot of people forget that, lack of vocabulary is what's keeping you behind. So I really hope that, by watching this video, you understand the importance of the number of words that you know. It's so basic, but people just skip it, oftentimes, right? So please understand how important it is. And I also hope that you don't just watch this video and go to bed. You actually get your word list, right? Get 10 to 20 words and then say it in front of the mirror and then do that for a week and then use it with people. All right. If you really do that and it works, please come back and comment below. I'd love to share your story with other people on YouTube and on future videos. But anyways, guys, that was Sean reporting from the Nagoya region, and I'll talk to you guys in our next one. Bye-bye.